Welcome to this here thriving moment brought to you by the Sovereign Light Radio broadcast, Anchor FM, and made also available on 6 other different platform distributions. Live from North York, Ontario, Canada, I am your host, Reverend Maria Mentee, and with us here today is our very special guest from London, Ontario, Canada, Karen Ansel McKinnon. Oh, wow. What have we have here? Karen Ansel McKinnon. And welcome today to Building Relationships, tips on web design, marketing, improving our connection with communities and each other. Originally from Sarnia, Ontario, then carefully placed into the hands of foster care for 6 months. From the bosom of her biological mother's side, she parted ways to then be chosen by a loving couple and who had lost a daughter of their own. The traumas that she underwent at ages 7 and 9 became the secrets she rebelled against at the age of 13 to 15. Karen was the youngest recipient of the City of Sarnia Volunteer Service Award at age 17. And with her continued endeavors to connect women globally, in 2019, she was recognized for her works by representatives of Canada's House of Commons. Continuing at age 26, she was one of the youngest women to launch her own marketing firm. We have The Look Marketing in downtown Toronto with 13 manufacturers. Karen's 12 years commitment to this company while still maintaining previous from her marriage. She then remarried and gave birth to a son during those beautiful and fulfilling stay-at-home mom years. Karen went back to school and reintegrated her awareness to connect her skills with the internet world. 10 years later, Karen received the highest closing ratios in sales with one of the largest marketing groups in North York, America. She was able to help one national brand move their sales team from an average sales per shift 2.3 to 7.8 in only 6 weeks. Karen's vision of sisterhood in our community and to help women help each other has prompted her to launch in 2018, Speak Up and Empower. No more sad stories, no more pain, no more lies, no more judgment. With this mindset at heart, Karen's design has developed a safe portal where women can come together to develop a professional and personal definition of success. Karen believes in each voice there is a beacon of light. Speak up and empower. The mission is to drive change by joining hands across the planet. And the vision is of Speak Up and Empower is to envision a community of a heart-centered members who stand in their highest power, turning their dreams into reality in life, business, and relationships to educate, impact, and promote. They provide you with tools that you need to be seen and heard while supporting you and guiding you through the process. And Karen's 2008 has developed these skill sets for business and relationships. And she is also the recipient of the Compassionate Women's Award 2021 and in 2020. She's also the founder of Women Over 50 Who Dare to Dream Big, learn online with us, and with many other over 50 Facebook pages and groups to reach out, such as on Girls Next Door marketing agencies, and just most recently build her confidence global confidence building in females of all ages. And this private group has already gathered, including me, 46 members. And you're welcome to join. It's a private group so that it maintains a safe space for us all. And her motto, Karen Ansel McKinnon's motto, is be the flame that lights your own torch. And with us here today, building relationships, tips on web design marketing, improving our connections with communities and each other. Here's Karen. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you so much for having me here. I have two boys. So two boys and one granddaughter.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm a grandma. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I kind of stopped there, because I knew there was something there missing. So I'm glad that you mentioned it. And so tell us about the Speak Up and Be Heard. It's not just a platform for women. It's all inclusive for men as well.
Yeah. So Speak Up and Empower. It started again in 2019. So we just had our third anniversary, and we help develop initiatives for men and women, turning dreams into reality that help humanity. That through community collaboration, anything is possible when people actually link arms and we work together on a global level. And that's what Speak Up and Empower does.
Is there an equal amount of men as there is women?
No.
Okay.
I would say about 5% men, 95% women.
Because it could be a little bit intimidating.
Yeah, we started as a women's organization. And then we, about a year ago, it would be about 2 years ago. I lost somebody close to us by suicide, and it was a male. And at that point, I felt that it was a real necessity that we start including men who wanted to belong.
Right, absolutely. Empower the feminine aspects within everybody. Absolutely.
Yes, yeah.
It makes for a better world. It makes for
Definitely.
better connection.
Definitely.
And so where there's love, there is no judgment.
Right. I'm a firm believer in that. I guess it's my world has been seen very different, because when I look at people, I always say I don't see color. I just see the heart and the soul of the person. And some people will say that's wrong, that I should respect their color, which I do. But I always try to look for the goodness of a person. And I don't, quote, fit them into a box, because in my world, there are no boxes.
And so are you also the founder of Alignable?
No.
Okay. I just wanted to know that, because you're also on there, and it's the largest online network for.
Yeah, in fact, that's probably my smallest network that I'm on.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm very on Facebook, everywhere on Facebook. And I have been for a long time. I was part of the Wealthy Affiliates. I was part of Instagram. I'm very small on. I'm on YouTube. And then I'm on my own network. I think the biggest thing when you're developing a network and you want to have millions of people in your life, that you have to collaborate through community. It's different if you're an Instagram influencer, because with Instagram, the ones that you see who have the highest numbers, it's usually because of their appearance. Why they have millions following, or that they're celebrities. it's not necessarily about the people who are heart-centered who should be seen.
I was going to say, how does that work? I'm just getting to know my Facebook friends through this kind of platform that I have designed and decided that it's time to really get real and get to know who's my friend, and because shame on me for not really knowing all these things about everybody that is so for me it's wealth is actual.
When you start a business, so people come to me because they want to start a business. I don't call it coaching, I mentor, or I on the side. And the reason I don't use the word coaches, there's so many people out there who say they're coaches, but their background's very different, right? So I'm more of a mentor in when I work with people. And I find that they come up with an idea, but they've never budgeted for marketing. They haven't developed their skill sets to even own the business, to become visible or to raise awareness and bring about impact. And so they have to start somewhere. I'm a firm believer in what we call the SWOT analysis. And that's, really knowing what you're doing and what your competitors are doing and pulling it all together to even make sure your business is going to be feasible before you even start it. Because you know what? There's no sense going into a business and beating your head against the wall if you're not going to be able to, bring something different to the table. I firmly believe there's no such thing as reinventing the wheel. So somebody has already did it, and that's where the SWOT analysis is for. It's to know, we call it business threats or your competitors. What's out there? What are they doing? What are they doing differently? And what you can do to be different yourself and unique in your business.
This is so different, this kind of platform right now, because we're both being viewed as far as I can see. And it's like, wow. Yes, absolutely. I've done this, and I've done it in such a way where I made sure not to step on any toes. So I've done my research, like you're saying, and I don't see them as competitors. But what I do get annoyed when other people, I feel like they're competing after they've seen what I'm doing and not really kind of working with me. And I guess you have to move beyond that ego-driven level and not depending on.
I don't. I firmly. I never think of a competitor when I actually work, but before you set up, you need to know what people are doing in your business.
Yes.
And you know what? The world of the internet. I was in for a Nanke magazine yesterday. I was a guest on a panel, and it was all about, the Day of the Girl. And we were saying that, you have to really know, like, when you're online, it's a different world than when you're offline, and who are your friends and who are not your friends, and who do you actually vet? Because to me, vetting is so important. So who do you vet? Who do you let into your inner circle in order to help your business grow? So many people will start a business, they go online, all of a sudden, I want 5,000 followers. They accept everybody. That's not the best thing for your business. You have to have a strategy.
Yeah, I'm learning as I go, and I test each step of the way. And I find that, yes, you have to do your research. You have to be research oriented. And with that said, it's called respect. Respect the ones that have already kind of paved the way or have already been doing it. And just like Napoleon or Andrew Carnegie or Napoleon Hill would say, synthetic ideas versus the original ideas. The original ideas, nobody's really going to take on to. So you have to have a little bit of dabbing here and a little bit of dabbing there and modify and recreate your own version of authenticity so that people can say, hey,
Right.
That's what I'm learning. I don't know. Right?
Yeah. No, it is. It's all a learning curve. And so in my case, we have, with Speak Up and Empower, there's so many platforms where you can take free courses. Lots and lots of free courses. And I encourage people to, you don't actually need to receive certificates but you need to know what you're talking about. You need the knowledge, and there's so much out there that's available for free.
Right. So what do you suggest? Right away, the thing that comes to mind is starting up and people not having any money. So you start from a blog, and let's say you pay into, there's many out there like Site Builders or GoDaddy, and you do your own website because you can't afford to have someone else do your website. So you learn and you appreciate these things. And what a great way to learn. And then after you say, well, hey man, I need more than one. Like for me, instance, I have, I'd like to have 3 different websites.
Yeah. So people need to have multiple streams. So that's one. 2, there are servers that provide, free websites with advertising and no money. You still have to build it yourself, but and you know what? At Speak Up and Empower, I'm going to tell you, we charge $20 for the year. And when you fill out all your profile and everything, it actually can become a website, and you can redirect your domain to it.
Wow.
And we help you. So for $20 a year, it has like built-in SEO, which is your search engine optimization. You can get that. I think when you're in a community also through collaboration, you're going to meet people and more people will, there's so many different Facebook groups and different groups even that we have where we connect you with the right people. So I tell people, if you can't afford $20 a year, you should not be in business. Absolutely. You should not be in business. And you can get a domain for $3 from GoDaddy, first time domain, right? After that, it's about $14. And yeah, so there's so many ways of doing it without money. The other thing is, whenever you have a website, you should have multiple streams of income. You should be affiliating yourself. So I have probably 50 affiliate and sponsor companies, and they pay you. So they pay you for hits. They pay you if product has been sold because people have clicked their website. There is so much money to be made through affiliate marketing. That is unbelievable. Okay, so how do you link us up to this right now? Is there some kind of name or something, referral? How do you get in on this? First of all, you'd have to be a member of Speak Up and Empower. Oh, okay. And then we'll introduce you to the world. But yeah, there's many ways of making it. Speakupandempower.com. There's many different ways of making affiliate income. I've been doing it all my life. So example, Constant Contact, Grammarly, like huge companies I affiliate with and partner. And you do have to apply. So you work on building your network. You work on being visible. Okay, yes, I have heard of Grammarly.com, and it's like... Yeah, they're just affiliates, so they pay me. Really? Yeah, lots. Yeah. Advertise. Yep. Yeah. I have probably, yeah. Every day I have different companies that approach me about working with them. Who would have thought? I kind of started promoting and sponsoring myself through my corporation, my small business. And, so that's how I've been going at it, but it's like a one-man show. Right.
it kind of needs more people to come in and play the game. You provide a structure there, but then the connections, to have people who say, yes, I do have money. Yes, I am interested, rather than having a whole bunch of people who are interested and have no money. Yeah. And yet you offer it for free, and then they're still not grabbing.
No, most people don't do anything that's for free, to be honest. And they don't work at it consistently because they haven't invested into it. And that was the biggest thing. We offered a free membership when we first started, and we found that people just didn't do the work.
Right.
So,
yeah.
And we have an experts membership, which is $197 a year. And with $197 a year, we actually teach you how to make income online. And then you in turn can make an income through us. There's many different ways.
And folks, for those who don't understand this $20 a year, and you probably don't have a website already. Site Builder and other website people like Vistaprint, they offer this incentives, like maybe $99 a year, not including the domain. And then the following year, you're looking at $200. And remember, this is like American money. And so I've done my research, I've dabbled here and there, and I've noticed that $20 is like next to nothing.
It's next to nothing. It is. It's more of a service that we do.
Right.
So we don't make our income from that. We make our income as a company through secondary levels. And, that was something else I talked about. When you want to make a global presence, as you continue to grow, it does cost money. So I was encouraging women to tithe in themselves, which means, when you make money, put 10% of it away into a pot until you have enough money to go to the next level.
Okay, now something that really hit me on a deeper level is your vision of a sisterhood.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've noticed from my experiences, 20 years experience and further on, I'm showing my age now, but I'm still a member of the Board of Funeral Services, Bereavement Authorities of Ontario. I still maintain a license. I'm still kind of enforced to take the courses and to take their own studies that they promote through other channels. And I tried to be also a part of that. I paid into it so that I can teach as well. And they'd simply tell me that I need to partner up with other people. Like I have to, they kind of weigh things out to how others feel about me, and sort of why am I deciding to move beyond that enslavement program that they have within their industry of funeral directors and become something when I'm not actually, not even a first generation of funeral directors, not even a second or third. I don't own my own funeral home. And who's this girl? She's not married into it. So I obviously need to partner up. And they have a system of a brotherhood. They're affiliated with the Freemasonry. I don't know if it's been, they've had good intentions, but they've been kind of looked upon as being bad and things. They're not really. It's just that they're very traditional and set in their ways. And they do have another group called the Rebeccas, that their wives and things, they get together and they do. It's very underground, very occultish. And they believe in religion, and religion kind of dictates everything. And they're very just stoic in their ways. And now everything is dismantling. And I've seen them kind of dismantle and start putting themselves together. And they still don't, they have the women out in the front lines looking like this is a woman's profession and everything. But the ones holding the strings, the investors that we are paying as pre-arrangements, but there's still the underground that's a brotherhood.
Right.
And
there's still a lot of corporations and companies that are when people used to say to me, there is no such thing as a glass ceiling. And for women, there is. Women women have not moved forward on a business or economic level in over 25 years. So we have stayed the same, but this is where it changes. With COVID-19, we regressed.
Okay.
So we are way behind the times as women coming together. Do you know? And then you look at stats. 1 out of every 3 women has been sexually assaulted. 1 out of every 3. That's a horrific number. Horrific.
The way I see it is this COVID-19 has also done something like shaken everybody up, shaken the whole foundation, non-gender bias here. But what I'm getting at is this idea that you have this vision of sisterhood that can change the way and role model to the brotherhood and show how inclusiveness really works. And kind of at a more mature level so that they can start looking at it that way. Because I'm tired of being their role model as a one individual. And I inspire them in such a way where they just kind of have me out on the sidelines and learn by me. And, you know, and I feel like now I feel like it's a competition rather than, and I can't compete possibly with those kind of finances that they have as private industries, the whole profession, you see. And who do I partner up with? A billionaire to kind of get to with that level? And I think to myself, if I had that kind of money, I would not be interested in having my own funeral home. And if I did, what I would do is I would have the men out in the front lines, and I would have the women kind of being the sisterhood, see the other way kind of thing. So I am learning off of them too, and how it is that they do their society. And as a matter of fact, I've also organized this thing called Canadian Society of Celebrants, that I also have an academy and I have something going, but I don't want to show myself as me being the front runner, because obviously I'm going to get a backlash from them. They don't want to see me. But then again, they're going to see me again in my next book, because it's going to be all about embalming and it's going to be very controversial. And I'm getting onto it. So that's going to be my 4th book and coming. So they still don't really have, I haven't let go of that, because I'm doing house cleaning. And I have so many books, so many studies, so much education behind me, so much experience, that I want to put it in a book and maybe 2 volumes, I don't know, and say, here you go. And I don't need to have all that in storage anymore, and move a little bit lighter, more enlightened this way. And so I don't know, maybe you want to have me on your talk show, because I'm so sorry I'm stealing the spotlight.
Yeah, I haven't been, I haven't really the past couple months been interviewing, but I do plan on it. My personal life is keeping me really sporadically busy. So it's coming into November. Everything should calm down. And because I've had lots of people ask, for me, I have very about 4 talk shows that I regularly do.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to be starting them back up again, but it'll probably be November. I have to get through this month first.
I'm told November is going to be a very chaotic, difficult month. So I'm looking maybe into next year that I'm accepting.
Yeah, I'm already planning my 2022. We have a Build Her Confidence Summit in February. And then we are going to be announcing 3 more summits in 2022.
Oh, that's great.
So, yeah, we're really changing the dynamics of online presence. So, if you look at webcasts and podcasts, the views have gone down. And people want things shorter and sweeter, and they want to really get to know the person on the other side of the screen. But and that's where I believe like the summits are going to play more of a role.
Okay, because how are they going to get to know someone in an elevator speech and go really deep and feel them? See?
Yeah, I agree with you. But in an elevator speech, so this is going back to the marketing and the business side. And I tell people in an elevator speech, you need to be able to sell yourself for who you really are and what you're doing so that they go to your website, that they go to your Facebook, that they go to your YouTube, that they pick up the phone and actually call you. So how many times when you're in a talk like this, at the end of it, you say, call me, or, private message me, or, let's get together. I have something I can help you with. I am here for you. Most people forget that part. They forget their call to action.
Right, right. And engagement has to be on the same frequency so that they can resonate with us.
The average person will watch a show like this for 3 minutes. Then they'll turn it off, and then they'll come back on maybe later when they have more time, and they'll watch it again. And they may watch it in segments.
Okay, so how long should we overspend our time here? Or?
I don't know. We've only been talking for 20 minutes.
Okay, so this is still all right.
Yeah. Some of my people go for an hour on their shows, but then we actually, I'm very all about the stats and the analytics. So I watch how many times people come back to replay.
Oh, so do I, but I'm not gonna let that discourage me. I'm just gonna keep going with my passion.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, you should.
Other people, this is where self-esteem comes in, and then the confidence.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, so it's an inner thing. It's an inner drum. Yeah. It's all about speaking up.
It is.
And so if we don't do that and we don't self-express, then we're going to be feeling that emptiness inside.
Yeah.
And, that's a lot of emotional, the energetic body needs to be able to move around and,
Yeah.
So, you also, now the difference between a mentee, a mentor, and a coach, you have experienced a lot of, you suffered a lot, and your experiences that built your character and made you who you are today. And, it's called faith. And
definitely it's called faith, and I don't, what I've gone through doesn't define me as the person I am today.
It strengthened you, and you found yourself, your light, and who you are brought you home.
And if I can do it, anybody out there can do it. That's what I'm like your girl next door. I am just the same as you. I just had a dream and decided to fulfill it. I ended up lighting my own torch instead of waiting for somebody else to teach me how to do it.
Right. So how were you able to, within 3 years, looking at the stats here, from 2018 to now going on, 3 years, that you were able to manage to connect all these people and partner up with them and have this speak up and be heard and empower people?
I think it comes down to a lot of hard work, a lot of consistency, a lot of faith in what I was doing. Because, every day is not the same. There's some days where, I wake up in the morning and say, should I really be doing this? So you have to get back to being grounded and, becoming grounded each time. I believe that because I speak my truth, and because I'm extremely compassionate, that's how my network grew. My network grew because I never put myself first. I put the people on the other side of the screen first. So, and I believe that when you help people grow, your own network grows.
So you mentioned that empowerment is something that you cannot sell or buy. It's something that can you further?
You can't sell empowerment. So all these companies out there, they'll say, I'll teach you to be empowered. You can't. That person has to find it within themselves to feel empowered. What we do is we give you the tools and the skill sets, and a lot of it is camaraderie. The more you're in the right community, you feel more confident about yourself. You feel that you can take on the world.
Okay, is there some kind of guide, or do we just play around as we go? Is there like a manual? I don't like manuals, but
no, there's no manual. There's no manual to become empowered. I believe that it's when you start learning, when you start becoming educated in different things. It all depends differently on what you're doing. But in the end, it always comes up to self-confidence too. So, and that's why Build Her Confidence is our summit for February. But people have to want to be empowered to empower other people. And that's why it goes back to me saying, be the flame that lights your own torch. So you're not waiting for somebody else to light it. You're going to light it yourself. And then you're going to shine. So when you shine, what happens? Other people around you, they want that too.
And this Build Her Confidence Global, is this something that we would have to recommend to start out before going into Speak and Empower?
No. So if you join Speak Up and Empower and you follow us online, you'll find, yeah. So we are much more than a website. Yeah, everybody is unique in their ways of what they need and what they want, right?
So dare to dream big and learn online with us. Okay.
Yeah, so one
is that separate?
Yep, separate. So one is when I started in over 50s group, which is huge for women.
Okay.
And then Learn Online with Us is new. So it's going to become our educational platform for women and men, and for people starting out in businesses, or for people who just want to learn more. And we work with a lot of different companies. And so you're becoming educated without spending a lot of money.
Okay, and is there a difference between just being a regular platform person, like on social media, or do you recommend us buying some kind of public figure title that distinguishes?
No, I think that's absolutely disgusting. So yeah. So when people end up, all of a sudden you'll see right now, for example, I could have been a doctor, right?
Yeah.
So I could have purchased the, because I'm a humanitarian and I've put in lots of hours and doing what I do. So different colleges and universities for $300 and $400 offer a doctorate of humanitarian. It's called a doctorate of humanity certification. So all of a sudden you'll see people on social media saying, I'm Dr. So-and-so or Dr. whatever. They're not a medical doctor. They haven't even did a degree, They did humanitarian work. I believe in keeping the doctor's title to the doctors, the ones who have spent, 10 to 15 years in school.
And what I've noticed on social media platforms such as Facebook and changing your profile, or Twitter and all these other, you name it, even Instagram, you have the ability to access that and say, yes, public figure, but you pay a little more, or you actually pay for that title to say a public figure. And I've noticed a lot of my friends now are turning to that and putting under their title as a public figure, they're seen as.
Yeah, you don't pay for it. It's free.
Oh, is it? No.
Yeah, so all it means is that you're not really a public figure. You're not really an influencer, but a lot of people, when they want to become known, in the speaking world or being an author or being whatever, they develop themselves as a brand. So their own brand. And so that's why they'll use that, the public figure.
And it's free. When last time I looked into it, it cost money. And that was
no, unless it's a business. Facebook, and they don't even charge for that. But if you know, with boosting posts and that, Facebook charges you. But no. Yeah, I think in 2022, though, we'll start to see Facebook start charging for a lot more things. They have to, so it won't be as free as everybody thinks.
So no, I had the accessibility a few years back to go into public figure instead of a regular profile, but it cost money at the time. Now I didn't know.
No.
Now it's free, folks.
Yeah.
So go on and become a public figure entity. And so how do you recommend that to people or
if you're developing your own personal brand, you know, go for it. But you know, most people who do that will have at least 10,000 followers or 10,000 people.
Okay, I didn't know that. All right, I'll keep that in mind. So as soon as I get the 10,000 followers, I'm going to become a public figure. But I noticed that too, is that those are followers and they don't really want to be your friends because you give them a chance and it's like, no, they'd rather be your followers. And that's really funny because
it's not about likes anymore. And it's not even really about being followed because you want to know your analytics. So how many people actually go to your page? Because a lot of people won't show that stuff anymore. And so, but in what we call Facebook business suites or analytics, you can see all those numbers.
Engagements. I think that's the most important thing. That's real. Anything else is just like, you know, they're not interacting. So why are they even they're just like, I don't get it, right? Why they're just following and they're not really interacting.
Right.
But I find too that unless I put them in as my Facebook friends or something, you have to kind of know to get in there, the Facebook, and adjust your, you know, allowances, because I find that only my Facebook friends can respond and say things. So you have to go back inside into the, you know, the manual or whatever it is and fix it up and say, yes, I want my followers to also respond. And it's a tricky thing because there is no manual or guide that says this is how you do this. And, you know, your pictures. And so is there a difference between a mentor or mentee and a coach? Can you please expand on that?
I don't know. Me being a mentor is probably more based on my experience and my knowledge. Okay. I haven't taken a Bob Proctor course to be a coach, or I haven't taken, you know, per se to become a coach, but corporately and educational wise and experience wise, I bring so much to the table. And that's why I believe I'm a mentor and not a coach. And the other thing is, I want you to find within yourself what you should be doing. You know, it's like leading somebody on the path, but not telling them what the path is.
Well said. Exactly. You know, you don't want to spoon feed people. And, you know, and I find that the new generation is expecting that. They have a sense of entitlement that, you know, they should be given the money. They should be given the startup. And now even Canada has started to give free education to people. And before the COVID, they were in university and colleges, and we all had to work our way to those levels. You know, I know personally, I wanted to become a plastic surgeon.
Yes, I know.
And so the only thing
I always say, who, like a big thing for a lot of people, I always say, who did you want to be before the world told you who you should be?
Right. I knew from the age of 5, I was like, oh, I want to be a psychiatrist for some weird reason. But then when I went to school, I finally got my high school because I dropped out for being, you know, gay. I was the first one to come out in the Scarborough Board of Education. So I got thrown out. I got suspended. And then I couldn't come back because all the people who I thought were my friends started their boyfriends coming after me. Now, there was one boy named Errol the Girl, and this was at Midland Collegiate. And he was okay because he was a guy. But for a girl to come out? And then it was like I was the trailblazer. After that, the whole Board of Education decided, yeah, man, we should start accepting. And Scarborough was one of the very first places to start accepting.
So are you married to a woman then, or?
No. I don't know. Maybe nobody can afford me.
That's cute.
It's funny though, right? And so, yeah, I'm just a work in progress. I have big dreams and I'm taking baby steps and startups and things. Well, it's a learning experience. And so what I was able to do was get my first year of college in the health sciences with funeral services. And that's like the same first year any university person would get in surgical skills and things like that, the anatomy side of it. And it brought me closer to the Greek anatomy physiology and learning more about Asclepian type of, and do no harm, above all, primum non ser. And so a lot of these values and moral and ethics that are being challenged with the whole healthcare profession right now.
Right.
And I did learn a lot in biology and chemistry and physics. I loved it all. And so, but I couldn't afford it. And now all these kids, they're being offered like for free, kind of, come on in, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, wow. And all this information that used to be hidden before, now it's like all out in the internet. There are no more secrets.
No, I agree with you.
So there are a lot of good things as well as all the bad things that are coming up to the forefront.
Yeah, you have every capability of living your best life.
Right, exactly. And it's all to do with your perspective. And when you kind of move to another neighborhood and change those neural pathways, those habit forming thoughts, what you think about, you believe. And so that kind of gets the energetic, emotional body going.
I know.
And so that becomes your universe, your world, and everything that reflects onto us to learn from. And with that said, is there anything else you would like to kind of business? And
no, I think we covered a lot today. So if anybody wants to contact me, they can go to speakupandempower.com. If you type in Karen Ansel McKinnon or We Have the Look all over Facebook, you'll find me. And let's connect.
I would love to have you on in future as well. And if there's any platforms you would want to invite me on, I would love to share more of my light and see where it goes and connect. And connection
Thank you so much.
Important. Yes, it's been an honor having you on.
Thank you. Thank you
so much.